not let the whales win. Do not let them take your crypto. Do not fall into their traps. Stand strong. Stay focused. Remember the vision. Remember the vision. These are all of the things that you have heard me consistently remind you over the last few years. And as of recently, I've been consistently saying that you absolutely need to be careful right now because we are at a point in time in which I believe the most dangerous during the 4-year cycle. I've told you that at this given phase, we are going to see fear. We're going to see greed and doubt and regret, but excitement and also joy. And because all of these emotions are going to be flowing through us at once, the whales are going to try to use those emotions to set traps for us to take our crypto. And I've told you, you can't let them do that. You cannot lose the game right now because the opportunity of a lifetime could be right around the corner. You have to stick to the plan, stick to the long-term vision, and simply just hold. But what if I was to tell you that there are times where it is okay to sell? What if I was to even tell you that there are times where I personally sell to stay ahead of these whales? In today's video, I'm going to give you 3 different times that I believe it is the right choice to make to sell some of your crypto, even if that means completely exiting the crypto space as a whole. You see, we're consistently and blatantly lied to within this space that we need to marry these cryptos and be unconditionally loyal to them. And I'm just here to tell you that it's simply just not the truth. As I said before, there are times where it is the right choice to sell your crypto, and we're going to go over all 3 of those. And the first one that we're going to be starting with is the most obvious that you should know, and that is during a pump. You see, when crypto pumps, we all will typically fall into the same exact trap. What happens is the price goes up, say 50% on a crypto that you hold, and you think, well, it's up 50%, I'm up $500, this is it, this is great, all I need to do is hold a little bit longer, and then I'll be at $750, and then I'll get out. And then a couple days go by, or maybe even a couple hours go by, and next thing you know, you're up to that $750 mark. And you think, well, that was just a few hours. Let me hold it just a little bit longer, then I'll be at 1,000, and then I'll get out. And this time around, it doesn't do that. Matter of fact, it crashes and it goes down 30%, and now you're only looking at maybe $400, which is less than you could have had you just simply started pulling profits whenever you first realized that it was probably a good time to start to get out. You see, that greed is what kept you in. That greed kept reminding you, well, what if it does this? What if it doubles from here? What if it triples from here? And because of that greed, you then ended up losing money. This is the same trap that we all fall into. Don't get me wrong, I have as well. When I was holding things like Bitcoin and Ethereum in the 2018 to 2019 to 2021 bull market, I was a victim of this myself, right? I was holding my Ethereum and thinking consistently, well, if I just don't sell it, right? If I just hold on to it, it's going to go up. Every single time throughout this whole bull market that I've wanted to sell it, it's just gone back up. Even if it's crashed 20, 30%, all I had to just do was hodl and the price would just go back up over time. And that worked for me, well, until it didn't. You see, there became a point in time in which we reached the top of the market, and I was holding on to all of these cryptos that I had bought along the way, and even though I took some small profits here and there, it wasn't anything compared to what I should have been doing. And because of that, that was the main reason as to why when the market crashed, I held on a little bit too long, because I was thinking in that same condition that I had prior. Well, if I just hold it, it'll go up. If I just hold it, it'll go up. But that never ended up happening, and I ended up taking profits 40 to 50% lower than what I could have had I stuck to my game plan. So the only way that you can truly avoid falling into the trap that greed is going to lay out for you is by setting a game plan and having the discipline to stick to it. Because I had a game plan. I'm going to get out when I'm up 100%, but I didn't have the discipline to know that that was the right call and to actually commit to it. And so you need to set your game plan and have the discipline to stick to it no matter what is happening. Now, when is the next time that it is totally okay to sell your crypto and you're not losing to the whales? Well, the next time is whenever you recognize that there is a better opportunity in another place. You see, as I mentioned before, the whales like to convince us that we need to marry these cryptos. And like I said, be unconditionally loyal to them. Now, the reason why they want us to think that way is so that whenever their vested tokens get unlocked, they have bag holders to sell it to. They want to make sure that at any given point when they're ready to be done with it, they've made their money, that there are people who are trained to take that from them. Because in crypto, you can only sell if someone's willing to buy. So they need to make sure that people are willing to buy almost no matter what. And so because of that, we get stuck in the mindset that I can't sell it, that I have to stay loyal to it, because if I hodl for the long term, then I'm going to be able to make money over the long term. And the issue with that is that oftentimes this causes us to miss out on other opportunities that could have changed our lives completely. Let's use Dogecoin as an example. Now, we've all heard of the Dogecoin millionaire, someone who made millions of dollars off of Dogecoin and set his entire portfolio to it. And there were times where we saw Dogecoin on fire. Everyone was talking about it in school hallways to work break rooms. Everyone was talking about Dogecoin. Saturday Night Live was coming up, and everyone knew that that was going to be the moment that Dogecoin was going to hit $1. But what ended up happening? Well, Dogecoin ended up crashing. The price started to fall after the whole sell the news event did occur. And from that point forward, it was very clear to see that Doge's hype, for the short term at least, was probably going to start to dwindle. But so many people were just absolute fans and stans of it. They were not thinking anything but Dogecoin and didn't care about any other cryptos. And although everything did start to fall that summer in 2021, going into August and September, October, November, December, we actually started to see so many different cryptos rallying, especially in something like the metaverse. But so many people were married to Dogecoin. That's all they cared about. Nothing else mattered. And because of that, they weren't willing to sell some of it to buy something like Mana or to buy something like Sandbox or to buy any of these metaverse tokens that absolutely took off, like Axie Infinity, for example. And so because of that, they missed out on absolutely life-changing opportunities simply because they married Dogecoin. And so it is totally okay that if you notice a better opportunity in another place, maybe because of some news or some on-chain development or something of that nature that isn't just pure price FOMO, it is okay to sell some of your crypto at a gain or at a loss and move it over to another crypto in order to truly capitalize on what could be the next opportunity of a lifetime. Now, the last option here for when it is totally okay to sell your crypto honestly may surprise a lot of you. Now, this option is whenever you decide that enough is enough. I'm not talking about you're just upset because one day this thing is fallen, or you're just upset because you missed out on an airdrop or nothing like that. I mean, you are genuinely deciding enough is enough. You've been in this space long enough. You've lost money. You've made money. You're not going to keep up with it. You're tired of checking the news. You're tired of staying up to date with everything. You don't want anything to do with it. And so you have two options there. One, you can either just hold all the crypto that you have, hold all of those altcoins, or you can sell everything and move on to the next phase of your life. And oftentimes what happens is that people have money into, say, these different altcoins. From 2018, they have it in XLM, or they have it in something like Litecoin. They have it in all of these cryptos that didn't really gain traction into the next bull market. But so many of these people were just tired of crypto in the bear market. They didn't want anything to do with it. They were just like, you know what, I'm gonna just hold this. I'm gonna be done with it. I'll check back in with it in a few years, and I'm gonna move on with the rest of my life. But what people don't realize is that crypto is ever changing. Crypto is always changing, and it is one of the fastest moving industries that the world has ever seen. And so one crypto that you think is absolutely set for life could be gone just the next week after something like FTX crashes. And so because of that, if you're not around, if you're not paying attention, if you're not staying up to date on the cryptos that you hold, you very easily could be that one person that's holding something that has no chance of seeing any type of growth into the future. You're missing out on those better opportunities that we just talked about. You're missing out on those little small micro pumps that you could possibly be selling for a better price at. You're missing out on all of that because you've had enough. And so because of that, what I would say is that if you are in that position, in my opinion, unless you're holding Bitcoin only and you're not going to touch that, it might be best to just sell that crypto and move on. In my opinion, I think that it is better to have a lot of people who just move on from crypto, take all of their stuff, take all their coins, sell it, get rid of it, and move on with their life, than a bunch of people who ended up bag holding a bunch of altcoins that went to zero. Those are going to be the people who turn into bears. Those are going to be the people who bring on unnecessary FUD. Those are going to be the people who are very hard to deal with in this space and slow down mass adoption because they had a bad experience. And I don't want you to become one of them. And so if you decide enough is enough, if you decide you just don't have the energy to keep up with this space anymore, I do believe that that is a totally okay time to sell your crypto and move on with your life. Okay. Now make sure, with this one, you are very cautious because I'm not talking about, like I said, you're just upset because Bitcoin crashed 5% and you didn't get to take profits. I'm talking about you are truly done. If you're truly done, just be truly done. Crypto will always have the door open for you in the future. Prices might be a little bit higher than they are now, but that does not mean that it is not a great time to at least just save yourself the energy that crypto does require. And it is totally understandable, no matter what the degens on Twitter say, to move on, at least either for now or for forever. So overall, those are the 3 times that I believe it is the most okay to sell your crypto and you're not losing to these whales. Now, if you do want more information about how you can beat these whales in their games, make sure you do click this video right here.